Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, October 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol DJT. Have been tracking this one very closely, and once again, big mover today, higher highs, higher lows, so updates need to be done. You can see I actually talked about this one back on Friday with that bull pennant pattern, but big breakout from that bull pennant, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of those levels and start afresh. And really, it's just essentially the same type of pattern that we just had. Now, at this point, I'd say it's a little bit clearer of an area of resistance, right around $47.20. Now, I'm not going to call that an exact level because you can see right there, price didn't quite hit it. Price went slightly above it, slightly below it, directly hit it, slightly below it, directly hit it. So right around, again, 47.20 is going to be the level that you got to think a lot of people are watching. And I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid? Is it plausible that if the price comes up here and pushes up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible scenario. In terms of areas of support, key level to watch on any sort of pullback, going to be right there around $44.35. So keep an eye on that. And then just from an overall pattern standpoint, resistance, support, big move up right there. So we have ourselves a bull flag pattern. But all in all, assuming you care about the grand scheme of it all, as long as this thing keeps on putting in those higher highs and higher lows, then that is by far what matters most. Next one, ticker symbol GLUE, and we had a big mover on this one, and now a good solid pattern here has formed. So let's just get this pattern drawn into play. We have the resistance part of the pattern right there. We have the support portion of it right there. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then just to make this easier to see, let's keep it one color. And I am going through this a little quicker because we just talked about this pattern, but we had a resistance. We have our support right there. We have the big explosive move right there, and we have ourselves another bull flag pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is just from a price perspective. DJT was quite a bit more expensive than what this one is. So if you like maybe stocks down around the $10 range, but you do like bull flag patterns, well, here you go. Keep an eye on GLUE, GLUE. Next one, HCTI, and I like this one here as it started off very, very strong. So opening 30 minutes, price all the way up here. But then it started to pull back. And when it gets around here, it becomes a very valid question and just say, hey, is this going to head back to where it was? Is this just some sort of gap and trap, pump and dump type thing? And we got our answer, and it did not head back to where it was. Late afternoon, it finally leveled out here. And in leveling out, it now creates an interesting situation because it at least becomes plausible to throw out the question, maybe, just maybe, this pullback is finally over, and maybe, just maybe, this thing is getting ready to turn back upwards. Case in point, let's just say that something like this was still going on. Price dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. It's looking like the pullback could be over. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping straight down. But that's not the case here, right? The price is at least going sideways. So does that mean it's a guaranteed bottom? Does that mean it's guaranteed to curl back up? No, but is it a valid question now to start to throw out there? Does it make a lot more sense? Absolutely. So if you like this price range and you like these scenarios where you get a big move, get a bit of a sketchy pullback, but then the price starts to suggest by going sideways, the pullback may be over. Keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol NIO, and very, very nice start to the week. Almost a kind of a mirror image of, I'm just going to get rid of that level, but a mirror image of Friday. So Friday, you had the big move up, you had the pullback here. So again, a little bit of a bull flag, bull pennant. Right here, you had the big surge up, and then you have the pullback. So like I said, mirror image of essentially Friday there, but that's really as simple as it gets. I mean, there's no need to overcomplicate this stuff. You, once again, have a bull flag pattern. But it goes back to the whole idea of assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, as long as the price is putting in higher highs and higher lows, that's what matters. So whether the higher high and higher low is a bull flag or a bull pennant, you don't want to get stuck down in the weeds of, well, no, technically that's a bull pennant. No, I think it's a bull flag. At the end of the day, who cares? The price is putting in higher highs and it's consolidating with those higher lows, and that's what you want to see. So once more, if you like bull flags, bull pennants, whatever you want to call it, definitely keep an eye on NIO. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and finally acted a bit human today. It did put in some newer highs early on in the day, but spent the rest of the day pulling back. With all that being said, everything is still perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance up to where the party has officially stopped, and that sits right up there at 273.90, so keep an eye on that. But from the big picture point of view, like I said, everything is just fine. The price still hasn't even gone down and tested that right there. And even if the price were to stay above there, I mean, that's really impressive in and of itself to, be able to stay above that level. But like I said, not only has the price stayed above that area, the price hasn't even tested that level yet. But even if the price were to drop down below that level there, at, we'll call it 260.65, you still have so many areas of support. You have the 50 period moving average. You have the 200 period moving average. So by no means is that 260.65 mark some sort of do or die level. So yes, right here, this sort of action I understand can get kind of annoying and, feel like things are falling apart. But like I said, looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, nothing is falling apart. Still plenty of, room out there to build that higher low. Real quick, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering later on this week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one here, NVDA, and we have a situation where that ideal level has been broken, the ideal level being that green line there that I mapped out, but also illustrates that just because that line is broken, does the chart look as good as it could? It does not, but that also does not mean that all of a sudden the chart is destroyed or ruined or anything like that. There's still plenty of opportunity here for, the overall chart to remain plenty strong. And just to illustrate that, as I zoom out here, you can see that, there's still plenty of uptrends. There's still plenty of supports. And the big one from just the overarching standpoint is that pink line there, which denotes a very famous, very well-known 200 period moving average, which, as you can see here, has a very strong slope to it. And as long as the price stays above there, then overarching-wise, I don't think there's really anything at all to worry about. Now, there is always perspective. If you're some sort of flipper or scalper and you bought right there this morning and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well, then yeah, from that standpoint, the chart's looking pretty bad. But I'm making these comments from the angle of somebody caring about the bigger picture point of view. So keep an eye on that pink line right there if there is any sort of deeper pullback. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, still have the overarching level up here at 144.15. But the one that I do want to add in, just because I'm somewhat curious now as things continue to play out on the week, will be that trend line right there. And I'll change it up to just have it stick out a little bit more, make it a little dash line there. So we'll see if the price can push up through there. But like I said, all in all, assuming you care about the bigger picture, even with the pullback today and the price breaking down through that trend line, everything is still fine. Next one here, GNLN. I'm going to go through this one relatively quickly because you've already heard me talk about this pattern a couple of times, but nonetheless, get it mapped out. So we have our area of, come on now, there we go. Have our area of resistance right there. We have our support right there. And then let's just keep it one color. So resistance, support, big move up right there. For you golfers out there, put the golf out on there, make it a little bit more visually appealing. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. So same general price range down around this $10, $5 mark. If you like that price range, you like the bull flags, the bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, MARA, and an absolutely crazy late day session here. Really more so late morning into the afternoon. I mean, just one green candle after another green candle after another. Although I will say that this candle here that it's forming, not the most bullish of situations. Now, that doesn't mean that the chart's going to crash or anything like that. But with that sort of candlestick forming there, that does suggest that this thing's going to need to pull back here a little bit. But remember, pullback is not the same as a crash. It's not the same as a reversal. And once more, there are no guarantees. One candle doesn't make or break a chart. I'm just suggesting that the type of candle here that is forming does suggest that a pullback may be underway here on Tuesday. So in terms of areas of support, if this does pull back, ideal level, I mean, hey, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay there up above $18.50. But even if the price does fall below there, not the end of the world, because there's, like a lot of these other charts, still a bunch of areas of support. You have the 50 period moving average, you have the 200 period moving average, so keep an eye on those couple levels. And then in terms of areas of resistance, main battleground here that the price is still struggling with, which did actually poke its head above, but right here around $19.10. But going back in the history of things, you can see rejected the price, rejected it, got close, and once again, false little breakout of it, but 19.10 will be the main battleground moving forward. But all in all, good solid start to the week. Next one here, FCEL. Probably should have put this at a different location within the watch list so I could, just remind you. But I think you probably know where I'm headed as I draw these lines here. But some days you just get a bunch of the same types of patterns, and that's essentially what we have here. So let me get this mapped out here. But FCEL, yes, once again, we have a bull pennant pattern. So resistance, support, big move up, golf hole down there. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if you prefer penny stocks, but you like the bull pennants, the bull flags, here you go. So a good variety for everybody. Next one here, TQQQ, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from Friday. But if you did, hopefully remember me putting in that red line right there. And you can see while it wasn't perfect, broadly speaking, it did a fantastic job of just illustrating where the resistance was. You can see this morning, got slightly above it, then rejected, and then right here got slightly above it, and then you can see just afternoon kind of continually got pushed down from it. So that's not to say that that red line can never ever be broken. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is struggling at that area, and it also just goes to show that their technical charts are not perfect. Nothing is, but technical charts are definitely a powerful tool. And if you don't believe me, if you think I just put that red line in there, I'm not offended at all. All you got to do is go back and watch the video from Friday, and you'll see when I put that line in there. As far as supports are concerned, not only do you have the bottom part of this pattern as support, you also have the moving averages there, which I've talked about before. So yeah, the price did have a slow little pullback on it today, but within the grand scheme of things, everything is still perfectly fine. Now, if the price were to come down there and start crashing through all these areas of support, that's where the conversation begins to change a little bit. But as of right now, even with the pullback, price still above those areas, so nothing, no major red flags, I would say. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, October 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now using the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. And for this, in order for this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, want to look at a longer time frame and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll keep this as relevant as possible. So as I speak right now, the big movement that has occurred is the price is now up above that red line there. So a very, very good weekend. Recovered nicely, and then, within the past several hours, as of the release of this video, has broken through that area of 69,400. So that'll be question number one. Let's just say you're watching this video 20 hours from now. Question one is, where's the price at relative to 69,400? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above there, then everything is perfectly fine. Even if the price is somewhere right around here, that doesn't matter, because that it still implies that this big surge here has maintained those gains. It hasn't given anything back. So like I said, any answer at all with a price above 69,400, things are looking very, very well. And then, some common sense comes into play. For example, well, Clay, the price is actually now way up here. Well, that's telling you that not only is Bitcoin maintaining those gains have gotten even bigger, and Bitcoin's looking that much stronger. Now, if you are saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that level, next immediate question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that purple line right there? 50-period moving average, valued at, we'll call it 67,500. If you're saying the price is down below there, even at that point, okay, not a big deal, but that's where you want to start to keep an eye on these moving averages and then this trend line right here that I do want to keep in play. And I highly doubt this is going to be the answer, but if somehow you're answering the question that the price is down below here and there, well, then the wheels have fallen off the bus. Something has gone very, very wrong. But again, I highly doubt that's the case. So that's just my long way of saying that Bitcoin's looking very, very strong, and it remains very, very impressive, even just by going sideways now and staying above 69,400. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free live class, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So like I said, this class will be later this week, Thursday, October 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, and a super easy way to help out the channel. If you're not yet a subscriber, please just hit that subscribe button, and that's a free way to really support the channel and help it out in big ways. So if you could do those things, that would be great, and definitely go get signed up for that free class. Thanks for watching.